Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here, and I'm very excited for this beer. Why? Well, it's Allagash. I mean, come on. If you watched my channel, if you watched a bunch of my reviews, more specifically, if you watched my Allagash reviews, you've probably heard me espouse quite the love for Allagash as a brewery. They're one of the original OG breweries that was around when I got into beer. And once I finally made my Mecca-like kind of journey up there, it exceeded my expectations as far as a brewery goes. But we're dealing with a little hoppy jam. Not that I haven't messed with the hops before. We've done a river trip. We've done a couple beers where they've kind of been like, they're a hoppy version of what we do. This sounds a little bit more like they're going full in on some hazy IPA. I saw it on a shelf. Obviously, probably at a very great price point. As far as time in this sucker, this is almost 3 months old. I think we're good. Allagash can make shelf-stable beers, let's put it that way. So, yes. Anyway, Hop Reach IPA, Allagash Brewing Company. Now, what's this beer all about, at least what they talk about on the can itself? It says, higher and higher, hops reach for the sun. Filling with citrusy and tropical flavor, Hop Reach IPA blooms with these lush hop notes, making it a beer that's both full-bodied and refreshing. Yeah, they're out of Maine. Are they out of Portland proper? I know they're like right on the skirt edge of Portland. Yes, Portland. I didn't know if that was actually Portland where they're at. They're like right outside of the downtown. But anyway, let's see what we have to offer here. Or see what Allagash has to offer. Can-wise, it is Allagash. It is what they do. It is both a little bit kind of old school arty, but also kind of like earthy. And very much, are they, says down here, 1% of the revenue goes to collaborate with local nonprofits. They're B certified company, so they do a lot for the community. So it's one of those beers where you just can't help but love them. And guess what? They make really, really good beer. Hopefully this is one of them. Now, I guess that's what Allagash would call a 6.8% hazy IPA. Very, very old school. New school hazy IPA. Not much turbidity to it. You probably see my finger going through it. White as white could be. Had very kind of soapy, crispy edges. So that's what I'd expect a 6 and change hazy IPA from Allagash to look like. Golden hue, bright, summery. It's good news. And it smells like what I expect. A nice, bright IPA from Allagash to smell like. Summer in a glass, son. Summer in a glass. It's just bursting at the seams. All the citrus notes that are leaning very, very light. There's no big kind of perception of a pithiness to it. It's very much kind of a sweet and orange juice with a nice kind of spritz of lemon in there. Very much kind of summery vibes. Almost comes off like a hopped up saison. It kind of makes sense. They're probably using some kind of proprietary Allagash yeast that comes off a little bit more imparting of those kind of things as opposed to just a straight up kind of Conan, kind of London 3, get the job done kind of thing. And it just really does scream this bright citrus notes. There's a sweetness to it. Comes off a little bit crystal malty, so it's kind of like, okay, I'm getting sweetness from a malt here. I'm not getting sweetness strictly from a kind of brewer sugar kind of thing. It smells like it's going to be like, what's the words I'm looking for? It smells like it's going to be nostalgic, but also new. I think that's what I'm thinking. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. It's more bitter than I thought it would be. Based off of the nose. I mean, it's Allagash. You're not going to be afraid of bittering. Yeah, it gives you that. It gives you that lemon, citrus, lemon orange combination that the nose leads you to believe you're gonna get. You get it to a T, but it comes off a little bit different than I thought it would. There's a decent amount of bittering here, rather generic, almost like old school, like there's like German Czech kind of lagery bitterness. It's very zazzy, very whole melon, very kind of Saphiri kind of bittering to it. But then you get that lemon in here, and it's almost like a Brett C kind of lemon, not like a lemon drop hop kind of lemon, with that citrus, that orange kind of citrus. And then it comes off like, it's not like lager crispy, but it's very light. Lighter than high sixes come off of it. Drinks very, very much more like a 5% beer. But that sweetness, again, like I said, on the nose, that perception sweetness comes off like crystal malt. Very much kind of that kind of sweetness if you're looking for like a malt characteristic kind of pull out of the beer. Dangerous. I could drink a couple of these. You know what it is? It's very much citrus, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Actually, this is what it reminds me of, and it's a positive thought. Citrus, lemon, lime, citrus lifesavers. That's the way the kind of fruit comes off in here. I don't mean to say it comes off as like hard candy, even though it has that little bit of attribute to it. I don't mean to say it comes off as like a synthetic thing. It doesn't come off that way, but that's the way that kind of comes off. It's probably the best way I can kind of describe it. I like this. I'm not like, oh my God, Allagash has just rewritten a book and the way IPAs, no, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying I dig it. I like this change of pace, if I'm ripping through some beers and I want to have something hoppy, but I don't want to go the turbid route. I want something a little bit more summery, a little bit more bright in the IPA realm, which tends to get a bit bogged down with a lot of the way the hazies come off nowadays. It's definitely going to be one that it could be tossed in rotation. Let's put it this way. Hot summer day, barbecue, grab a sixer of this and throw a mixer at a big thing, and people will be ripping beers. I think this is kind of a crowd favorite kind of thing. It's enough bittering to get you excited if you dig on that, but it's enough sweetness and fruitiness to get you kind of all hot and bothered on that end of the spectrum. And it comes off, well, quite a bit different than what I've ever had from Allagash. There's some kind of core center to it that kind of just makes you go, yeah, I can see them making this beer. And it comes off a little bit kind of cryptic and whatever, but if you drink Allagash, you know their beers, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I dig it. Again, we're not rewriting the BJC book here. We're not doing anything that's infinitely new and just out of the norm. It's just a nice combination that is fun and playful, and I'm going to drink the rest of it, and it's going to be a good time. So there we go. So Mount Rushmore status. Is this Mount Rushmore status for IPA? 6.8% it's IPA. No, it's it's worthy of being in a conversation of a tasty beer, but it's not towards the top for me. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative beer by any stretch. It's very tasty, and I dig it. Value and availability. It's Allagash. We can get a bunch of their stuff. I picked it up for, I want to say, $13 American. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like old school IPA, old school East Coast IPA, you want a little bit of a new school kick to it, and you just like that tinge of that lemon thing. That's the thing that really sticks with me with this beer, is that there is this lemon perception to it that, while not like crazy over the top, it's definitely leaving its mark. And when I get that, I typically get it more often than not, like in a Brett C thing and like a hopped up saison kind of thing. When I get that, I kind of really dig it as a flavor profile. So if that's something you really dig on beers, then you'll dig on this. So there you go. A review in the books. Have you had Allagash beers? Have you been to the brewery? Have you had this particular beer? All that fun stuff. Let's talk about it down there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little Allagash right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.